Now as we move on, more specific to our LA squads, the Rams had a tough week this last week, got blown out by the Cowboys. It wasn't close from the jump. The Cowboys showed they're the better team. Matt Stafford went down with a thumb injury and maybe going to the IR as well. Like it just all the pieces kind of fell apart in this Rams game. And after last week, I didn't get a chance to post it because we were busy with handling everything else. But I was asking last week if that game versus the Steelers, I think it was the game that knocked us out the playoffs. Did this blowout fully knock us out the playoffs for good with how it all went down? And not only that, but just the result as well with Stafford hurt and all of that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think our boy JP had the complete opposite prediction for this game, that it would be like a Rams or something, a Rams rout of the Cowboys. That certainly was not the case. This Cowboys offense especially came to play. The Dak and CeeDee Lamb connection was big against the Rams. As far as knocking them out of the playoffs completely, I wanted to pull up the standings of where they sit now in the NFC. So right now they're still at 10. Right now, and they're behind the Buccaneers and the Saints and the Vikings. I think they're still kind of in that mix as far as a wild card spot. But if Stafford is going to miss significant time, then I say they'd firmly be out, because I don't trust Wofford. While he could be a decent backup, I don't trust him to lead them to a playoff spot. I think the connection between Stafford and Kupp and Nacua was the more crucial one. Although this is the second straight week that Cooper Kupp has been limited significantly. He did not have a big game against the Cowboys. But this was an elite team in the Cowboys too. We know they got blown out by the 49ers, but outside of that blip, they've been a really strong team. And they will be a playoff team and potential contender. We'll see how it goes in the playoffs because it's the Cowboys. But yeah, I think they just ran into a better team this past week. I think they're still good enough to make a wild card spot. It's just going to be health dependent on Stafford.
Yeah, I mean, we already talked about how prior to the season, we did our whole breakdown of the schedule and said that there are a lot of 50-50 games that they had to win. There are a couple of games that they've already lost early on this season to may already knock them out. So yeah, I think it's going to be tough to maintain where they already are at and even elevate from there to get locked into the playoffs again. We thought they would be. A couple weeks ago, we thought they were on the right track and all of that. And they've had some bad losses now that have sent them back with injuries on top of it to make it even harder for them to recover from. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a very difficult uphill climb for them. They have the talent to potentially do so even without Stafford, because they do have some decent pieces there, Nacua and Kupp and all of that. But yeah, just as a team that already was under 500 with a healthy squad to bounce back without it. We'll see what they do.
I'll say too, their schedule is very it's very even. Like they'll play a bad team, then a good team, a bad team, then a good team. So like they play the Packers this week, and then they'll play the Seahawks, who are a better team, but then they'll play the Cardinals, who maybe could be better with Kyler, depends. Right. And then they play the Browns. So it's I view them as we've said, like about an 8-9, 9-8 team. And they're gonna have some tough matchups, and they're gonna have some easier ones coming down the pipe too. So it's really gonna depend, I think, on how healthy Stafford is.
Yeah, gotta get the job done. So we'll see what they do going forward from here. We'll have our quick picks each week where we talk more about the Rams and their matchups and address what's going on with them and just address the Rams because we do. So we'll revisit this, but for right now, it's looking bleak. So we'll see what they can do to recover. But yeah, interesting things there.